Hey everybody, Billy Merritt here, coming to you from Infinity Greens, and I'm very excited to introduce you all to Dianne Porchia, the founder of Porchia's With, the whole integrated self-healing, which has helped thousands of people all over the world. She was featured in the Heal documentary, actually helping someone heal themselves of cancer. How amazing is that? So, hey Dianne, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Welcome.
Hey, Billy. Thank you for having me.
So I'm excited for you to share some of your wisdom here. Your whole expertise is healing with your emotional health to then be reflected in physiological health. And so, what's the secret? What makes this work?
Yeah, so I describe my work as holistic stress reduction. So that's always the door opener. And the holistic stress reduction opens the world, to deeper healing at the deeper levels of the heart, the soul, and the subconscious level. And all of this is to support immune function, because how we hold thoughts and emotions in our body has a direct effect on the chemical response in the body. So if someone is holding on to mental, emotional upset or stress, there's the body is triggered into that freeze, fight, or flight response, which has a secretion of the stress hormones, the cortisols. And in situations of chronic stress, those stress hormones remain like a steady drip in the system that chips away at the immune function, weakening it, and thereby making the body more susceptible to illness and disease.
Mhm.
So that's how that works.
Yeah, okay, now that makes sense. So this is something that everybody needs to know because we all are dealing with stress of some sort and all could, I think, do well to improve our emotional health. Now, my understanding is you have a health retreat that you do,
Yeah.
and so tell me about that.
Yeah, so I, live and work in Topanga Canyon, and the work that I do is nature plays a really big part of the healing process. So when people come to work with me personally, we sit outdoors and we look at the beautiful nature that surrounds us. When I do private retreats and also retreats at destinations, nature plays a big part of it. I have an upcoming wellness retreat in Aspen. It's called Life in Balance Holistic Wellness Retreat. This one is for women. It's scheduled this fall in September 14th through the 20th in Aspen, Colorado, and it combines outdoor activities such as hiking and cycling and a Vipassana meditate or horseback ride with wisdom circles. And this particular retreat is going to focus largely on communication skills. So heart and soul-centered communication skills that really teach people how to be a clear, complete, and honest, heart-centered communicator, so that they're speaking their whole truth. Because when you hold on to your truths or don't speak what you really want, it causes internal upset. So I have a tool. One of the tools that I use in communication skills is something called the 9 traps of unconscious loving. And these are 9 kind of traps that people unknowingly fall into, that are miscommunications that really undermine their loving intentions that they have in relationships. And to give you an example, the first trap is expecting the other person to be a mind reader, right? So when you don't speak your truth and you expect the other person to automatically know what you want, and then that person falls short of meeting your expectations, it causes a little hurt and a disappointment. And that hurt and disappointment leaves a little black mark in the mind and in the heart. And more of those black marks can accumulate over time through falling into these different traps of miscommunication that leave that happy couple now is starting to be not so happy, and their faces are frowning, and more disappointments accumulate, and eventually people will want to call quits in the relationship. And so then they figure, well, it's just the wrong relationship. So they find another relationship that starts out happy, and everyone's in sync and in love. And as time goes on, they had brought with them all those little black marks from the previous relationships and the hurts and the disappointments. And unless they have learned new ways to communicate and connect, they're going to carry all that baggage with them. And the same pattern is going to carry out again in the new relationship. And so, that's why so many people have a series of failed relationships, and that causes so much internal upset and disappointment and hurt, and carrying that around with you, and these lower vibrations emotions, of guilt or shame or disappointment and hurt or anger, has an internal chemical reaction that comes with that, and that's the stress hormones and that freeze, fight, or flight response, and that kind of steady chronic drip of the cortisols. So this particular retreat, Life in Balance Holistic Wellness Retreat in Aspen, is going to be focused largely on communication skills. So we'll be learning about the 9 traps of unconscious loving, as well as another tool that I share, which are the 7 steps for peaceful conflict resolution. And those are 7 steps that allow people to explore the full range of emotions that they're holding inside and feeling, and learn how to express them to others, even the kind of more challenging ones that they may be afraid to share because they're afraid of rejection. But allows them to really explore that full range, and get to the point of understanding the other person's perspective, the step of willingness and looking at alternatives. What are some alternative choices that person or the couple can make? And then always ending in gratitude. So through the 7 steps, the last step is always acknowledging the gratitude and bringing the loving connection back into the relationship. It's really powerful stuff. And these are life skills that are not, taught in school, never taught anywhere. So really, really valuable. And this retreat is limited to 20 women, so it's a really great opportunity to work with me in an intimate setting, in a beautiful setting.
Wow, this is so interesting. And what I really want my following to understand is just how much your healing work is, in fact, connected to our physiological well-being. I mean, the fact that you were featured in the Heal documentary for helping somebody heal themselves of cancer with your protocols, and that a big part of your emphasis is on the immune system. Can you just give me an idea of how the two are interconnected?
Yeah, well, excuse me, like I mentioned, when we hold on to mental and emotional stress, it creates an inner realm of stress and that release of the cortisols, which chips away at the immune function.
It's that
And
cortisol. Oh man, it's that cortisol.
yeah. I mean, our body is designed. I mean, we need cortisol in our bodies, right? So it's when it remains at elevated levels that it's harmful. So the example that I give of an acute situation where that freeze, fight, or flight response kicks in is, I used to go on a daily mountain bike ride here in Topanga, and I'd go up on the top of the mountain and find a place to sit and do prayers and meditation. And I'm sitting on the ground one day, and I'm done with my meditation, and I lift my arms up and stretch, and as soon as I move, I hear a right next to me, and it was a rattlesnake.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I didn't see it, and before I knew what had happened, I had leapt up from a cross-legged position on the ground and was like 4 feet away from where the noise was. Never saw the snake, but that is an example of how that freeze, fight, or flight response,
Okay.
that's built into our limbic brain. It just automatically kicks in when we recognize a danger, something that's life-threatening. So in the case of chronic stress, we're perceiving our rent or our relationship or, all the stressors that come into our life as a life-threatening situation that are keeping those cortisol levels elevated, right? So in an acute situation such as the rattlesnake, as soon as, I had leapt away and I realized what it was, my body returned back to homeostasis and balance, and that flooding of the cortisol subsided. In the chronic stress situation, that it doesn't really happen. You have this kind of steady drip, if you will, of those cortisols that are weakening the immune system.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
Invaluable information. This is something that I really resonate with, and I definitely want to find out more. So, my understanding is you do articles on your website, you share information, and also you have information about your health retreat. How do we find you on the web?
yeah, so I encourage everyone to check out my website. It's porchiaswish.com. That's Porchias as in Sam, and then wish, wish.com. And I have a lot of information there about mind body medicine, holistic health and wellness, and what that means, relationship, information about the 7 steps to peaceful conflict resolution and the 9 traps of unconscious loving. Also, many testimonials with people that I've worked with over the years. And of course, I really encourage everyone to watch Heal documentary, which now is released on Netflix, so you can stream it anytime, anywhere. And I understand that it's released all over the world now. I've received responses from people in Italy that there's subtitles. So it's awesome that this information and the power of mind-body medicine is really getting out there into the world.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Deanne, for sharing your wisdom and for sharing your invaluable message with the Infinity Greens following. So I hope you
Yeah,
all will take advantage of this very special opportunity. Check out Deanne's website. I'll also include her information below. And thank you again, Deanne.
yeah. Oh, and I just want to offer something to your listeners as well. If any of your listeners contact me and are interested in the Life and Balance Wellness Retreat, if they mention Billy Merritt and Infinity Greens, I'll give them $200 off the
Oh,
price
wow.
of the retreat.
Okay.
Be a nice little incentive if they register before April 1st.
All right. I hope
Um,
you guys heard that.
yeah,
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you again, Deanne. That's been a lot of fun and a real honor to have you.
yeah. Thanks, Billy. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.